All right, the last thing I want to show you is disconnecting your robot from your control and saving your progress and loading it back up for the next time you have my class. Uh, so to disconnect your robot to allow somebody else to control it, or at the end of the class period, you just simply press the X key on the keyboard or click on the when the X key is pressed. And that will disconnect the robot. Now somebody else can press the C button to connect back to the robot. Only one person can connect to the robot and control it at a time. So it's important that if you are working on something else, to disconnect it as well. There is a timer on here so that if you don't code anything to the robot in 5 minutes, it will automatically disconnect you. But if you know for sure you're going to be done for a little bit, just press the X button to disconnect and then allow somebody else to go on in a few minutes. Now, the code, the next time you click on the robot to open the link back up, it will be reset and nothing will save. And so it's in order to download and save your code, you need to save it, you need to export it, and then import it the next time you come in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little picture of a piece of paper, and I'm going to export the project. So when I click export project, it will download it as rockguitarclient.xml, depending on whatever robot you're controlling. And what it does is it saves it to a folder called the downloads folder onto your laptop. And so I can close out of this. I can then close out of my internet browser. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my Teams page here, and let's pretend it is a second. It's a later on the next day. I'm in the same Rockstar robot. I can open up the guitar player code blocks. And I can click this little square to shrink that down a little bit. And it goes back to the reset. This is the very first time I logged in. It's just like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little piece of paper again and choose import. And then if you remember, it saved it to the downloads folder. So you have to click on downloads. If you don't see that, scroll up or down until you see the words this PC, and then find downloads and then click open. And here's Rock Guitar Client. I can see the date that it was saved and what time it was saved, so I can make sure I have the correct one. I click open, and after a few seconds, it will bring up the code that I originally had. Now I need to press the C button to connect back to the robot, and if I bring the video back up, I can now press the flag button, and then in 5 seconds, her mouth should start singing again. There we go. And so that's how you save it and download it. So at the end of every class, if you want to save the code, you have to click on the file name here and choose Export Project. We do not choose Save or Save As. That's a slightly different option for this particular program. So you're going to export it, and that's the same thing. It's kind of like a Save As. And then when you're ready to start again, you go to Import, and then you choose the same file from the Downloads folder. And so if I'm all done, I'm going to press I like to press the stop button just to stop the code, and I'm going to press the X on my keyboard, and it'll say disconnected from the robot. I know I'm finished programming the robot, and I can pass it on to the next person. So that's how you disconnect, connect, how to save a project, and how to import a project the next day in the remote robot learning.